With your hosts, Carolyn Ma, John Kurtz, and Bob Norin. Cheers!
Cheers.
Clink.
Cheers. That's a mood.
It's true.
Bring it in.
Like, why not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I also love the fact that I was noticing as you were putting them on that you have crocheted covers for your earphones.
Ooh.
I am yarn bombing my headphones.
Uh-huh.
I'm working on a piece for the top, but the thing with these, let me unplug it so I can show you and still hear. The cover for underneath these that it was under there with like peeled off.
Yeah.
And just like flakes all over your head. And I finally just like it all got gone and I peeled off whatever was left. And then I'm like, okay, they need something. So now, in honor of it being hot as hell, I've decided to wear earmuffs.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
But they're colorful.
They are colorful. So maybe you can tell me, I spent a little too much time on Ravelry this week. What's a color story?
A color story. I don't know.
So they have this whole like you can save your yarn on as like you can save your stash of yarn, and they ask you both what the color is and what its color story is. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not really sure what that meant. Okay, so I'll have to do a little more research.
I just pulled something up. Let's see. No, that's Instagram.
Yeah.
Series of images that follow a particular color palette.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm not really sure. I think maybe someone was using it out of context in a way that I was like, I don't get it, but I don't know why I have to tell them to do the color twice. But sure.
Sure, why not?
Okay, like who am I to judge? I have got like a million different kinds of wire. Like,
Yeah. Have we tweeted this?
color story?
No, our us. This now.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay. I'm doing it now.
Woo-hoo.
Hey, this is happening now. Come on over.
Yeah, I was late getting that post up this week. I apologize.
We got things happening. Hey, so what are we drinking? Where am I drinking? Oh, there.
Who am I drinking?
Who am I drinking?
Ooh, what are you drinking Golden Road this time?
Golden Road Brewing. Get up off of that brown.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. It's like a brown ale. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the fact that I could recognize a Golden Road can from the like back.
Totally.
It's a pretty distinctive can.
Yeah, they've got a good
particular
graphic
one,
design style, don't they?
Oh yeah.
They do. How about that?
I guess I'll go next. I am drinking something delicate. I don't know what to call it. Barb, I couldn't remember the name of that website.
Color of it.
I don't either. Drink me. Let's see.
Fascinating.
Let's find
What
out.
is it?
Okay, I'll take guesses.
Drink maker. You put it on the.
There was some website that you said that
I know.
I can go back and find it, but it's
Cocktail builder. That's it.
cocktail builder. All right. So what went into this was 45 milliliters of vodka, 45 milliliters of Cointreau. I used the good stuff this time because I knew it was going to be a big part of the flavor.
Vodka. It's being slow. Stop. Wait. Vodka.
Vodka.
Okay.
Cointreau. I should change that in my notes.
What is this doing? This is not the thing that I was at before. Make me a cocktail, barman. I feel like it was cocktail builder, but this does not look like.
Okay, well, let me tell everyone, and then
tell us. Yes,
you can find and we'll circle back. And then 60 milliliters of almond milk that had a half a teaspoon of instant coffee semi-dissolved in it.
Ooh.
And then a little bit more of the instant coffee sprinkled on top.
So a little DIY Baileys.
Yeah, like, so I don't know. I was thinking like like, you know how you have a espresso with orange next to it type of thing, but I don't know. The color is a little insipid. I think if I was not, if we had milk, I probably would have. I think of the vegan milks, almond milk was the one to go. Our vegan creamer is past its prime. I was going to try a little bit of that too. That would have also.
I thought it couldn't go bad.
Oh, it goes bad. It definitely goes bad.
But it's made of like, tires and good wishes.
Okay. Well, anyway, I will refrain from describing how I know it went bad. But I did test it before I added it to my cocktail.
That's good.
Yeah. So I tested
Always
it.
smell the bottle.
Yeah.
That's helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so it worked out. It's got a nice oranginess. I think the inexpensive triple sec that we have would not have done it credit. And I'm using the Loft and Bear vodka and the Cointreau and the fancy instant coffee brand that Todd gets. There's the little package. I've lost the little package.
It's really good.
What's it called again?
I don't know, but it's good. I can pull up the exact thing if you really care.
Mm-hmm. I'm still looking for it.
For coffee? Me too.
Yeah, that might be next week's. I don't know.
Mount
it was
Hagen
not
Organic
this. It was
Instant Regular
before
Coffee.
Before Remedy Books.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Connections and networks.
And I was feeling a little low energy before we started, so I thought, heck,
coffee it up.
Coffee it up.
Fair enough.
Carolyn's gonna be up late at night.
It's true. It's a bit stronger than I usually like things, but I think it's not too strong in a normal people kind of way.
In a normal people kind of way.
Yeah, like, I don't really like martinis. Like everyone, like, I think they're too strong because basically they're gin. They're just like straight gin. I like things a little more space in the flavor. So this is a good cocktail strength. But I definitely will feel this by the end of that.
I'm a fan for coffee all the time, every time.
Okay, I found it. Vodka, Cointreau, coffee. What else is there?
Almond milk.
Almond milk.
Yeah, I would say cream. Just tell them it's cream.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say it's not going to have almond milk.
Yeah.
Okay. There's apparently a drink called the Barbara.
Oh, I'm drinking a Barbara.
It's not that. I don't think it's that. Wait. Vodka, cream, and creme de cacao. No, not that.
What
cocktails?
What side is
Okay.
this you're at?
It is Cocktail Builder. I was just doing it wrong.
Oh.
Okay. There's one called 11th Ring of Hell that you can make with that.
Okay.
With what you have.
Nice.
Okay, so not Barbara.
I don't really feel like I'm in the 11th ring of hell. I feel like I'm probably in the bottom step of heaven kind of thing rather than the.
It's a drink for 2020.
What is this? 11th Ring of Hell is just vodka? No. Oh, and pepper spray. Oh my
Vodka
god.
and pepper spray. That's perfect. Capsaicin.
11th Ring of Hell. Tala's coffee is coffee and Grand Marnier.
Yeah, Grand Marnier. Which one is that?
Talo's coffee.
Yeah, so it's along those lines, I would say.
But there's more. Vodka and Grand Marnier is Rocky's Dilemma.
Okay, that's also similar.
Express is Grand Marnier and vodka. Just what we just saw. It's delicious martini. vodka and Grand Marnier is a lot of the same stuff.
Hey,
So-
so I was on the right track with the vodka and the high end triple sec, which is also what Grand Marnier is. So
So what we're saying then is that you should be putting in your own new cocktail.
apparently, I could.
Yeah.
Can you add? I wonder if you can add them.
I would think.
One would hope. Yeah. They've
All
got
right.
suggestions though. Okay. No, I love this. I've forgotten this website, or I'd forgotten how to use the website. So
Well, thank you for doing the research.
I found it and was totally not paying any attention to anything. Yeah, welcome to Deep Fried Neurons, where killing our brain cells so you don't have to.
Woohoo!
I don't think we said that
How
before.
are you killing your brain cells, Todd?
Yeah, tell us.
Well, in my nice little wine cozy that Carlin made for me, I have the best wine ever because it's got a dragon.
Ooh.
Paso Dragon.
Dragon.
That's a dragon. That's cool.
Cabernet. Paso Robles. They're like a pretty common winery that's like up wherever Paso Robles is. But a Cabernet.
I like it.
Yeah. Paso Dragon. Yeah, this is like what happens when you go to Trader Joe's and you're like, I want a wine, and then, it's got a dragon, so. So it kind of wins. And it's pretty good. Another
That's
cheap red
good.
wine. I think it was like, I don't know, $7, $8.
That's perfect. That's right on.
Yeah.
Right
So
on.
mine's kind of the sort of conceptual antithesis to Carlin's highly engineered beverages.
Well, it's a single. Mine's pretty.
Yeah, no, actually yours is better because yours is like you don't even need tools to open it. And get
Or
it out.
any. Well, no, sometimes. Well, today I don't need tools. Other days I do, because I do bottles a lot. I can even take off.
Non-screw top bottles. Ooh, make a
And I
necklace
can
out of those.
make a thing with it. I don't know. I could do like jewelry. I could do chainmail.
Well, those will be monetary units when civilization falls in 2021.
Soon.
Oh, that's optimistic that we'll have till 2021.
Did anyone else
Depends
play
how
the game
November
where you
goes.
tried to see if you could get how intact you could get the tab off of a beverage can? Is this an East Coast thing? Maybe this is an East Coast thing.
How
You would
intact?
try to get that tab without breaking the ring off.
Well, I mean, if you know how to
okay.
do it, it's easy.
Gotcha.
I used to have a hard time with it, and then you tried to. No, I know what you're talking about. You try to get it off, and if you're extra, you can do it without spinning it around the other direction. But
So did either of you ever watch the Engineer Guy YouTube video about how the amazing engineering of that little pull tab, how it basically is a first class lever where the fulcrum's at one end when you start, and then when it pops and it releases the first amount of pressure, it turns into a second class lever where the fulcrum's in the middle.
That's true. It starts out
just-
here, and then
It's really amazing. It's
Wow.
yeah. It's like
It sounds like a
we
good
should watch it
episode.
later. Yeah, it's really good.
can we put the link in something?
Something. Yeah, I'll put it up in Smoke Signals.
Stick it in comments or something, and we'll
Yeah.
put it.
Engineer
I'll put it,
Guy.
The post-
What is it? Beverage can?
Beverage can. Oh boy,
That's probably not what it is.
97 degrees there today.
Here we go.
Oof,
No, that's not it.
97 degrees where?
Pasadena.
There says Todd.
Oh, here, yes.
Yeah, it was hot today.
Yes, so we're the side channel talking about the heat wave.
Yeah.
Heat wave.
Which is a song that's way too cheerful for this.
Here we go.
It should be just like heat.
Oh,
heat
Jay
wave.
says it's 104 in Henderson, Nevada. Yikes.
Yikes.
So that URL is the
he's
ingenious
still.
design of the aluminum beverage can.
Nice.
I vaguely remember when
pretty
the
great.
pull tabs came off, like they fully detached.
Oh, already easily, yeah.
And they were like a total hazard at the beach when you'd step on them and cut your foot open.
Yes. Oh, is that why they stopped? Maybe because they were
Possible.
a litter hazard, or did they?
Or too dangerous.
Probably,
or just
yeah.
General.
You're right. I wonder what prompted the change.
But yeah, there's this scene in the movie War Games where where the main character played by Matthew Broderick picks one up off the ground and uses it to pulse dial a coin op phone that he doesn't have any money for, because that actually used to work.
That's
he was
right.
a hacker.
He was a hacker. He's super elite.
Of course, this is why on payphones they actually turn off the microphones, so you can't do that anymore until you put money in. Yeah. So then you get around that by putting 1 quarter in and then dialing long distance.
The arcane knowledge that no one can use, but we still have it.
Yes. If you can find a payphone and a bottle cap from the 70s. And
I guess a bobby pin would work.
Bobby pin, yeah.
Maybe.
Huh. We just gotta know how to like hack your laundry.
Hack your laundry.
Laundry is a problem.
It is a problem. It is really a problem. I got like one of those plunger dealy mixy deals.
Mm-hmm.
That's the technical term. That's what you look up on Amazon to do laundry at home. And I'm like, oh, good, because there's no quarters around. I'll just do this, and I'll save all kinds of money. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No. The energy and work that has to go into that is kind of a lot. Yeah. Although I think I'm gonna make a roller to a ringer to help me dry out.
Reinventing
I am totally
technology here. Totally. There's a reason why
100%
for the whole career.
It's
very difficult.
If I had like a machine in my unit, I would 100% use it. I do not. Oh, I should take this.
They make the ones where you can they make ones that you can fill from the sink.
Yeah. There's a lot of different kinds. I've been researching them a lot. Like they're just, a lot of them are either expensive or big.
Yeah, big.
Yeah, big. A lot of them are big, and that's kind of a problem.
Big is it. All right. So, Todd, what'd you do this week?
We spent 20 minutes talking about nothing. I love it.
I know. I was watching the time. I was
just been like,
I was a little more agenda, but I'm like, hey, we have time this week because I have nothing to say.
This is a show about nothing. Less than nothing. I don't know. No, that already is a thing.
All right, done. Go. Let's
go.
All right. So one of the things I've been playing around with is more of my crazy synthesizer-y business, and most importantly, I've been spending a lot of time making this work better. And so this is a little algorithmic synthesizer module. Let me put it like this, I guess. I can't see myself because I got another window covering my face. There we go. Focus. Oh, I got upside down. Aha. And what it does is it's got 8 little steps, and each little step is a note, and you can change how many steps there are. So here's like one with only 3 steps. And then you can change the randomness of each step. And once you like a collection of notes, you can back off the randomness, and it'll be locked, like that, and it'll no longer be random. But then if you want more randomness and you want the pattern to change, you can do this, and the voltage comes out. Oops, I lost focus again. The voltage comes out of this little CV out thing, and then you tell it to go to the next step with a little clock input. And the whole point of this is to let you create sort of melodies without actually playing, so that it's more algorithmic. And this started out as a take on this other module called the Turing machine, because it's sort of a like basically it's this very simple state machine using shift registers and a little bit of randomness to sort of take a value that was randomly generated, shift it down, and then output the last bit of that, or output the DAC value that represented the shift register. Anyway, it's very fun. It's a very popular module, but I wanted to create my own version that was based off of a little trinket, and but it quickly evolved into something much more. And so one of my things, my little 30 sounds I did this week, was using this. I think it's one of the best examples of it so far. And let's see if I can actually play this. I'm sharing the screen, Barb, and so hopefully you can put me up there. All right, so let's see here. Let's see what happens if I press play. Will I get audio? So anyway, that's that. But the cool thing about that was is that because of the way modular synthesizers work, where you have two different signals for the pitch of the note and when the note should be played, it's called CV and gate. Because you have those two different sounds, two different signals, I was able to do this, get an effect that's very similar to what happens when guitarists do what's called like a hammer on or hammer off, where they'll play a note and then they'll lift their finger or move their finger on the fret, and so it makes this sort of like slide, like a very quick slide to another note. And because the length of the string is changing, but yet they've not picked it again, and so it's a pick and then a slide, and so they get this like wow wow kind of sound. It was sort of a happy accident where I was able to, that sounds kind of like a hammer on or hammer off, and I was really really pleased that basically I was able to move the pitch signal while keeping the gate, the trigger signal of when to play the note, kind of independent of each other, and just that accidentally gave me this sort of guitar-like effect.
It was neat.
Yeah, so that's what I did. Again, it's still on the YouTube playlist or the Bandcamp playlist if anyone wants to listen to this in better quality, because I think the frame rate and other things were all over the map with this streaming setup. But anyway, so that's what I did. Played around with this and made more of it. Made more tracks with it. But one of the things I've learned now that I've kind of delved deeply into writing an actual user interface for this on how it works is having two knobs and a button isn't sufficient. I need more. Having the 8 little lights is great, but being able to change what each little light means is hard with just these two. So, because I want to have like it's got a notion of scales and root note, and I want to be able to change that really easily, so you can do inversions, so you can like have it arpeggiate up or down, or that kind of all the standard sort of musicy stuff, but have it do it in a kind of more intuitive way than having to do shift modes where you hold the button and turn the knob and all this other silliness.
You're gonna have to get bigger for that, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, this is almost the smallest module that one could make using like sort of through-hole hobbyist style setups. So yeah, the next one's gonna be a bit wider, I think. This is called 4 HP. If you're a synth nerd, the next size will be 6 HP. So yeah, that was me. Don't know what I'm going to do next week because I don't have time for all the way next week to actually make the whole new module. So it'll probably just be more dinking around with this.
That's pretty good. That was really pretty. I love there was a familiarness about the sound, and I was trying to figure out what that was about. And once you mentioned with the guitar and that guitar process, that was really cool. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
thing actually making the noise is this this tiny, very small little synthesizer UREC module called Pluck. That's just a car plus strong simulator. Like basically, there's this algorithm that simulates pluck strings. It was created like back in the 70s or something, and and there's a little module that just implements it because the algorithm was a hard algorithm back in the 70s, but now it can fit on an Arduino basically. And you can just kind of simulate what a plucked string sounds like, and it's got all these parameters for like how damped is the string, how what kind of plucking is happening to the string, like is it a plectrum or is it a thumb or is it a pick, you know, because that imparts different transients to the initial excitation of the string.
Because I'm not a musician, I had to scroll through my disambiguation for damp.
Yes. Yeah, sorry. Like how it decays over time.
No, I know, but I'm like, the wet noodle? Like, was like for a beat. I just had to render that.
But yeah, so car plus strong is the algorithm, and there's the
Neat.
Wikipedia link to it. But yeah, so there's a little UREC module that costs $100 that does this, and that's what we were hearing almost entirely was that.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
Lucky.
cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm so digging the all the sounds.
All the
They're very cool.
sounds.
It is inspiring.
Bwah.
Is that an
Wait, it's all
Inception?
green now.
Wah.
Yes,
Yeah,
here we go.
Inception.
That's very nice.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Bwah. Oh, see, this camera doesn't autofocus this close. The language for this is written in CircuitPython, which is a good language to write things that when you're trying to figure out what the UI should be, because doing a UI in CircuitPython is much faster than doing it in like Arduino, where you have to do the whole compile stage and upload to the board and all that kind of stuff. The CircuitPython is just a text file, and you save the text file, and that causes it to be reloaded and all that. Oops. So yeah. Woot.
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 All right. Well, we have a request from Barb that she go last, so I will go next. It doesn't save Barb much time because this is going to be fairly fast.
That's fine. That's fine.
So I'm sharing a screen.
Oh, so you are. Wait.
Ooh.
There it is. There we go.
So I just kept trucking, like not really anything much more exciting. I noticed that it was quite easy for me to blow past the time if I wasn't paying attention. What was also really interesting was that one of the days I didn't write it down immediately. This was the day that I did some of the most Ravelry surfing, and I just don't. I have no memory of what I listened to. This is those of you who know me well know that my ears shut off first. Of like all my senses, my ears will just like shut off. They will just close down for business if I'm focused on something else. And I just literally don't remember what I was listening to because I wasn't doing as much of the scarf knitting as I was supposed to be doing. I was doing mostly the surfing. But I did have a couple nights in a row soda water with bitters, which is apparently much closer to what the original cocktail was about. I will update this table because so I went back and was listening to the gastropod from 2015 that was about the cocktail hour, and they had on a guy who wrote a book, David Wondrich, who has a theory about what the word cocktail came from. Apparently, a cocktail was a reference to ginger originally, because wait for it. They would stick ginger up the ass of a horse to make its tail go up, to make it perky seeming when you were selling a horse. And so,
That's what I do.
so there's a long line from how that ended up. So it used to be that a cocktail was a morning drink. It was your excuse to drink alcohol in the morning. These cocktails were an AM thing. You'd break up and you would take the thing that would cock your tail up in the morning. This is this guy's theory about it. It is hilarious because the original cocktails were alcohol, sugar and water and bitters. And so you were taking your medicinal bitters in the morning. You were taking your bitters, yeah. So they were small glasses. They were like chilled small glasses. They weren't like the big things that we drink now. But apparently they were like your morning pick me up. There seems to be a direct line between sticking ginger up a horse's ass and what we're doing today.
Yeah, sure. Up the horses. Sure.
So that makes me want to buy this man's book actually, because like even if he's like totally wrong, that's a good story.
It's got it feels truthy.
It feels truthy. It's a British Britishism, and that seems fair. And so one of the things I was thinking about doing maybe for next week was trying to make your own bitters. I make your own bitters. So what's nice about this particular article is they mention a book that I like a lot, which is called, where is it? The Drunken Botanist. It's a good book.
Yeah.
And it's a fun book. I enjoy it. And that's nice, but the real tricky part is where to get the denatured alcohol, because you need the denatured alcohol, and it's hard to get your hands on right now. I was reading an article, let's see, LA.
True.
Still.
Well, if you just buy a gross of those little like hand sanitizer.
Well, see if I can find the spell it wrong.
It's hard to get anything like that. Our contact for the crash-based COVID response at USC was like, oh, you should get like Everclear, get like something that's 151.
You can't
proof. You cannot get it.
It's illegal. So it's illegal to buy. It's illegal for stores to sell end users high concentration alcohol above 76%. I think, did I put that in there? No, I took it out. But so you can't. They took a few years ago. They took Everclear off the shelves here. But you can order for shipment from lab suppliers.
55 gallons. Yeah, there you go. $2,100. There you go.
Yeah.
Party.
So this source is this source is cheaper, but it is a lot more expensive than the last time I looked. It's still, it's cheaper because you can buy smaller quantities. It's not cheaper because it's cheaper. But yeah, so you can still get that shipped to California. So you can get someone to send you lab grade stuff. But you can't go to like a BevMo and just buy whatever. And in fact, distillers had to wait for a while. I was thinking of approaching a local distiller and being like, can I have some? But then like, nah, they won't really go for that right now. It's hard to get your hands on. So I'm not sure if I could get it fast enough. I could do like an infused vodka kind of thing. In fact, I actually do have some of that going on already that I was going to talk about anyway. But on Amazon, you can't buy the undenatured alcohol. Everything's denatured. So yeah. So this is the kicker: getting the food grade undenatured ethanol.
You're stepping out on my stuff.
that is required to make a good bitter.
Time to build a still.
I was thinking that I do have a lab glass fish. Lab glass.
Oh darn.
Yeah, lab glass is great.
We
So
had
that's
to
actually
for
though really
science.
important, and it's something that she mentions a lot in the in the Drunken Botanist. Is if you're really going to get into this, don't do what I would have a reflex to do. Don't get random shit from your yard and food grade 200 proof ethanol and then drink it. Not because the ethanol is too strong, but because real distillers do something called fractional distilling, where they know at what temperature they're getting what chemicals. And so this is actually why one it's better if it's natural is actually completely wrong. What you want for many reasons. One of which is because you actually do want to be able to isolate the different chemicals, because some plants make both chemicals that will hurt us and chemicals that will help us. And fractional distilling means you can get out just the chemical that you want. So home people of maker of things like bitters and whatnot should not be shoving just like random plants into alcohol, because you can get the bad chemicals with the good chemicals. Yeah, so fractional distilling, way to go. So JB, we talked about this the last time I was. I know, man. So the tricky part is, so I took organic chemistry my freshman year of college. Great class, a really interesting subject matter. I was shit in the lab. You were supposed to get like a gram of this beautiful white crystal. I would get like half a gram of these like yellow rocks. Who knows? So we maybe don't want me doing a bit of a chef, pinch of this, pinch of that, all of this. But I'll give it a shot. I may have a better temperament than I did when I was in college. Yeah, but fractional distilling really is the way to go if you want to use different things from the yard. But I'm going to stick with stuff that is a known quantity for doing this. And also the nice thing about bitters as opposed to other infused alcohols is you don't use very much of it at a time. Because what's interesting though about the bitter flavor is it is an insecticide. It is plants create a bitter flavor in order to repel insects. And so it's not always, it's good microbial, blah, 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 but it's not, it is, you can actually kill yourself by eating melons that are too bitter. Some older people who lose their ability to taste bitterness have hurt themselves badly by eating garden plants without, because they can't detect the bitterness anymore. There's also the word salad, apparently. I learned this from listening to the salt episode. I'm going to be insufferable from all the podcasts that I'm listening to. The word salad comes from the word salt because the Romans were putting salt on their greens to remove the bitterness. So adding salt to greens helps break down the bitter chemical, helps you not taste the bitter chemical. Anyway, that's all that. So if I can get my hands on some high quality alcohol, I'll start to make some bitters. I don't know that a sub-week long is long enough, but it could be interesting. I do have going, and I'll drink it next week, this it would look really gross. Don't show Todd. This is a finger lime passion fruit vodka infusion test that I'm doing. That will need to be strained through cheesecloth. But so we'll see. That we'll taste that next week, and we'll see what happens.
Somehow Todd got out of here.
Yeah. My browser crashed. But I'm back.
That's a bummer.
So
It happens on
Not
my computer now.
uncommon. I was gonna say, yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I should send the list who wants to go in on a $2,100 55-gallon drum of
We can bathe in it.
natural organic cane alcohol. No,
It's the proper solution. It's the proper solution for getting fully disinfected. You just dive in, and everyone can use it because it's disinfecting. We'll just fill the shower at Crash Space with alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, so JP was mentioning about this, the craft bartenders using the bark that they use quinine from, and they're just, yeah. So knowing your, it's serious chemistry when you start soaking botanicals in high proof alcohol.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Well, you could die. Actually, you could die really quickly.
No, but what could go
in a way
wrong?
that no one in the hospital can help you. You show up and they're like, "Yeah, you'll be dead in 3 days. There's nothing we can do." So this is why I get a little twitchy when people are like, "It's natural. It's good for you." I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, you know nothing. You know nothing."
Yeah, radiation, like
natural.
plutonium is natural.
Oh, and the other thing is the reason
arsenic and
as much as I am against using petroleum for energy, petrochemicals are the reason why we don't have empire as much as we could have, because when everything had to be grown in a plantation and come from a plant, you needed places like England needed to subjugate tropical places where all these plants with all the fun chemicals grow. So the introduction of petrochemicals meant that first world nations didn't need to be quite so bitchy, particularly the US, which had oil reserves, about colonizing. Not that we don't. Anyway, sorry.
So gas is good. Yeah, let's get a gas
No,
guzzler.
no.
Coal.
Let's unburn it.
Oh no!
Sorry. Here. Anyway.
Cheers.
Anyway. Cheers. Sorry, I almost stopped my.
Oh my God! Everyone's getting
chemistry their freshman year rant. All right. Delicious.
Delicious. Nutritious or delicious?
All right.
Both of those go hand in hand.
Delicious. So Barb, what? You want to tell us what you are up to?
Yeah, totally. So more fonts.
More fonts.
Yeah, and when we were talking earlier this week about like how the heck do you keep on talking about the same thing over and over again? Or like just different ways of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to remember what the last thing I showed is, but yeah, I'm not doing 30 fonts. I'm doing some number of fonts that I work on pretty much every day. I don't recall if I showed this guy, but I probably did. I will point this one out, which I might have shown before, but I'm starting to kind of play around with doing other things with these, not just leaving them in the book. So
they're coming to life.
They're coming to life. They're becoming other things. Some of it is just digital. Like this, I randomly, like, I didn't even get to the point of scanning it. I just took the picture, which is close to being
it's kind of digital
properly. It's close to being angled properly, but not like like I should scan it really to make sure it's exactly where I want it.
No, it's part of the effect.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let me find the thing that I am looking for. So I took this and I pulled it into Illustrator, and I started messing around with it.
Oh, cool.
And I'm like, okay, let's just like I started playing with the colors, and then I'm like, let's do a rainbow. And then it started looking really cool. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's keep going with that. And then I wanted to connect. So, okay, let's make it a circle. And then it's like, okay, 26. How am I going to split this up properly? So I wound up going into Fusion 360 because I know how to do it there. How to make a pattern of 26 things, and then just exported something I can pull into Illustrator. It worked. There may be a way of doing it in Illustrator, but yeah, I did not know it. So yeah, this is kind of fun. This is like I would probably do more with this and mess around with it a bit. But so that's that one. So I just wanted to show that, and I was like, this could be cool as like, I don't know, a shirt or a sticker or a poster, or I don't know. And then I mentioned, did I show? See, I know I've shown this. Did I show it on the stream?
I don't know. You showed it to us, but I don't know.
If you and then I haven't. Okay, this is the one that's like based on Open Dyslexic.
Yeah.
The font, which is like, I love that font. So it's bell bottomsy. I feel like I've shown this. I don't know. I gotta like
remind people.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. But so the fun thing that came up this week is like when you're doing different fonts. Okay. Let's see how much time I take. Oh, we don't have a lot of time left in our.
I know. I might read long about like.
I don't care. Okay. So I found another really good source of information. And that's just fonts.com. And yeah, I stuck it in the chat notes, and we can put it in the description. But they've got a fair amount of here, let me show this too. Which is the one I want. Type classifications. Okay, so when you're talking, like I've been saying, typefaces is what I'm making, as opposed to fonts, because like if you're gonna get real technical about it, and be like super pedantic, which I mean,
super pedantic.
Yeah, I'm there for it.
Yeah, so like if you want to get like real into it, typefaces are like the family of it, and then fonts are the different like types within that. And you got stuff like, oh wait, this isn't what I was talking about. This isn't what I was thinking. This is totally different. Okay, wait. Let me go back to, so everybody knows like regular and italic, oblique, bold, all of these deals.
Are those fonts or typefaces?
They are fonts because they're within the same family.
Got it.
The typeface is the family as it exists, that has variations on it.
So are Helvetica and Helvetica New two different faces?
I think they're two different. Different typefaces. I don't know for sure. That's a good question, because they pop up differently. I mean, they're obviously related. But you got your regular, you got your italic, and so like the difference between like italic and oblique. This is obviously from a different font, the oblique, but all an oblique is it just tilts it. Mm-hmm. They take the exact same thing and they tilt it. Whereas italic, you can see the difference between italic and regular, because they legitimately have like these extra little loops on it, and it's legitimately a different style. Mm-hmm. Like they've drawn it out differently. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's that. So I was thinking about, like, I've been just doing kind of different faces in general. Mm-hmm. And I found one that I really liked, and like lent well to splitting things, to trying different variations on it. So I got this one and I gave it a name. Do I have the name thing? Wait, where's my stuff?
Is it called Fonty McFontface?
It's called Hilda. Yes, it's called Fonty McFontface. My D&D players try to get me to call something that at some point. Seriously. They got me to name a person Count Chocula because I forgot his name. Never again. Yeah. Okay. So like I had like several things that I was thinking about for names. Petra, I would have loved, but it didn't look good. So I'm coming up with names for it because it's like, okay, this is now a group of things. But then I didn't know which one to do. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to write it out and see which one looks better in it.
Yeah.
So Hilda wound up being the winner. So this is Hilda.
Okay.
Oh. This is the basic Hilda. I am not doing like basic things. I mean, you could maybe call this Hilda Bold.
Hilda Bold.
But this kind of reminds me of
Hilda After Dark.
After Dark, yeah. This reminds me of like those like concrete geometric planters that people like to make.
Yeah.
So like this was a whole lot of fun, just kind of like adding more lines and just going all straight lines for this alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did come up with a third one. The third one came about because on Monday I was feeling off kilter. And as I do sometimes, I will just like write something out when I'm feeling in a way. And I took kind of like the basic font of Hilda here, and then I like started going over it with white paint pen. And
That
so
looks
it
so
did
cool.
this whole,
The stripes.
yeah, it did this whole crackle thing, and you can't really tell too much with this. And it certainly won't be able to when I pull it into a computer. But I'm like, okay, that's cool. Now I have this. Now I have to like actually draw the whole thing out. So I have, and I haven't finished doing all the lines on it, but it's the same basic thing. But you know, you got this cracked up thing, and these like obviously these are not like italics or bold or like any of those like regular kind of font variations. Crackle, yeah. Or shattered. What was I think? I was thinking some. I had some interesting ideas. Some ideas.
To me, it almost looks like ropes, like winding around it almost. Yeah.
In pottery, the glazes that do that at high fire are called crackle glazes.
Yeah, with the Q, right? With the QU.
Maybe.
I've heard, or have seen it spelled that way before. Maybe not.
It could be the British way. I don't know.
Yeah. Wait, what was I looking for?
Spelling.
Yeah. No. Wait. Oh, wait. Yeah. So that's like some of them.
So many physical things.
I love it.
I need to. If I was going to be organized about this, I would just have the pictures on my screen, and so I could go.
No, that's good.
Yeah. So this is like an old. Why am I not going full screen on this? I always forget when it's me. I always forget when it's me. This is one that I've been doing for quite a while. But I put it in here. And the trick with like making something that's going to be a font like on a computer is you have to have some amount of consistency. Like you can make variations, you can make glyphs, like options for what are they called? Ligatures, where they overlap. Which I do all the damn time in my lettering. For instance, this Dungeons and Dragons, which is in that same font, which has no name. Maybe it's some kind of gemstone name. I don't know. But you can see how like they all just interlock.
Brilliant cut.
How would you even make a computer font out of that?
I mean, you could. You would have to just make a ton of variant glyphs.
How do they do it in, say, Devanagari in the sort of, for example, if you're writing in Hindi, there's this thing where if you put two different letters after each other, it makes a third entirely different letter.
Ligatures,
ligatures. That's what that's called. Okay. Yeah. And like it could be an entirely different one, or it could be just a slightly different version, different arrangement of it so that it looks right. Like if you have an F followed by an I, the dot and the coil of the F, especially if it's an F that has like that little bloop on the end of it, those like bump into each other, or they
Mhm.
get too close to do that. So often you'll have like the dot of the I is gone. So you'll have a glyph just of that ligature. And so if it does an FI, it'll replace that
Mm.
with that. And then like similarly, if you have like two T's that like in handwriting, often you'll just cross both of them. You can have that as well. So ligatures are cool. To do something like this, you would need a lot
Yep.
of them.
Yep.
You need a lot of variations, especially since like I'm always like that A is totally different based on the R that happens to be next to it,
Yep.
and then the G
Yep.
is because this extends out.
Mm.
I think
Yeah,
that's kind of a little
I think you
over.
could do it, but it would be like making a font with like what 100 different code points instead of this 26 or whatever.
You just need to become an expert in machine learning.
There you go.
Mhm.
Oh, hey Barb, since you're still full screen, MakerBlock said they had to sign up for an account just to see the color circular graphics and lettering. So you should show that again.
Should I show it again? Did I not go
Yeah,
full
yeah.
screen with that? I'll go full
No.
screen.
Yeah, full screen.
Okay. I will go full screen. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
You're still full screen.
I am? No, I am. I know, but I got to share it first.
Oh.
I have to share the window, and then I can make it full screen. Okay. There it is. Bloop.
Yeah.
Thanks, MakerBlock.
wait, maybe you were
Here,
full
and then I will
screen.
go full
There you go.
screen with it.
Yeah, make
Here,
this
I
a
will
font.
even. Yeah, this is yeah, I might do this. So the interesting there's different kinds of obviously there's different kinds of font. There's like text ones and decorative ones. Because doing a font like this one with without go away. Hide sidebar. There we go. Doing a font like this as like your text font for the body of a paragraph body would be hard as hell to read.
Oh yeah.
So like there are certain kinds of fonts that people tend to use for print, for web, for like headers or just like random decorative things. I've made multiple versions of the deep fried neurons like written out thing. And Carlin and Todd have rightly turned down a whole bunch of them because they are they're different kinds of they're either harder to read, which like I'm having fun with it, so whatever. Or they're kind of they're too like neat and tidy and organized, which is not the idea of this stream.
Yeah.
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 The raw feeling of the original.
Yeah. I feel like I should talk more about this on another time, not now, but like I could talk. Maybe I'll talk next time about like how I decide on some of these things, because like knowing about like X height and cap height and like ascenders and descenders and stuff.
Yes.
And
All the weird
proportion,
font print
all
numbers,
those terms. Knowing about it makes it easy to play with them.
Is that in the video from last week?
Hmm?
The video that you
A lot of stuff is in there. Yeah.
okay, so that might be worth watching for me if I'm going to follow along with what you're talking about.
Yeah, you can take a look at it. But like, so for instance, the X height of these are all roughly the same. On these guys, like right at the edges, I make marks so that I know where the body of like the lowercase letters go and how high the ascenders go and how high the descenders go.
So what does X height mean?
That's the X height is the height for like this center part of it.
Okay.
So like
that's what I'm assuming that I thought I would.
The height of an X.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. And you know, these things can vary a bit and sometimes you extend a little bit past it for whatever reason. But yeah. Yeah, messing with the proportion of that kind of stuff is fun, and like you can be rebellious by changing your proportions, which I find kind of hilarious and awesome.
That's great.
J X equals Z.
Say what?
X equals Z. What?
X equals Z. I know.
Madness.
Listen, cat boy.
Or anti-cat boy.
Fonts live in flatland. There is no Z height.
Yeah.
Live in Flatland.
Although, Barb, that's where
Yes.
you could go.
Fusion 360 for combine your Fusion
Yeah.
360 skills and
Extra
your
dimensional font.
3D type.
Do 3D printing things. I've done that. The
No, no.
sign. What? Wait, what?
I mean, yes, you could do it for 3D printing, but I was just thinking more like, gosh, you could do fonts in Minecraft.
3-dimensional fonts.
In Minecraft,
I mean-
you have your little character walk around the font.
You could do that. You could do that in actually the square font would translate very well to Minecraft because it's
yeah.
literally it's just using
Square.
it's 4x4 on my little dotty book.
But they should be giant.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's just like a course thing.
I could make. Oh yeah, it would be interesting having a building where the walls are just writing.
Yeah.
Ooh, now I kind of want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those do look kind of like the overhead views of like big European buildings. Sometimes they're like C-shaped or
Oh yeah.
shaped.
As long as what it says from you can see from space, low key fuck 2020.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that might be what I do. But yeah, and this one, like, I don't even like pay any attention to the X height on this. Everything fits within a 4x4 square, and you just like chop out until you get the letter.
Yeah.
So like literally nothing extends beyond it. Like Q doesn't go out of there; it only extends in, and everything shifts up. And because there is no middle, the T is off-centered.
Oh yeah, right.
It's fun. Like you get to like messing with this stuff is really, it's fun. It's fun. Live dangerously.
Yeah, it's like nicely constrained. Hey, it's the kitty cat.
It's Max. I had Solo just run by. Aw. Hi, Max.
Solo, bring the Wookiee to me.
Max. Yeah, Max is not having it.
No,
Solo would not be having it either.
Why aren't you feeding me, woman? Is really that's.
Yeah, I locked his door, by the way.
Oh, then I just unlocked it.
Always check. I'm trying to find a good image search for what I'm thinking of.
Did I showed this, right? But I didn't actually explain it. And I was telling you earlier this week that I would tell you more about it.
Yes.
Like that I was
why do you
doing.
feel off kilter?
I felt I was okay. My schedule changed like entirely this week. So Monday I was just like useless, completely useless. And I'm like, okay, I feel off kilter. I'm gonna do a thing. This is therapy for me. So I started like I took a font that like I knew, and then just started shifting, like tweaking things, and then crackling it, and then doing the off sideways. And then making what wound up looking kind of like eyes, and like if you ignore,
that's new.
So I do backwards. It looks kind of like eyes that are just like really creepy. And then I mean I should have just left it like this so that it's just weird eyeballs. But the thing that like messed up this paper that I think is kind of awesome is like when I was doing the ink on this or doing the paint pen, it suddenly went bloop and like spit a ton of paint out onto the paper here because I was pushing it down to get more out. So it had this big old bloop of paint, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to push it down anymore. I'm just going to like dip the pen into it and just draw with it. And at some point, it like just tore through. So
nice.
You could like see right through my paper, and I'm like, that's in keeping. That's on brand. That's on brand.
Properly off kilter.
Yeah. So this page kind of like fulfilled itself, and I don't care. I love it.
I don't care.
I've got like I could talk about other things that I've done too, like other lettering things I've done that have kind of followed a similar path.
Yeah,
But
let's hear about those. Let's hear about those next week.
Yeah. We'll talk
Yeah.
about other
Oh
things.
my
I might
gosh,
do
it's
physical things
6:30.
too, though.
Yeah, part of why I let us ramble on in the beginning so much is because I thought we wouldn't have enough to say, but between
But
your
weird.
actual typography content and my weird rants about
All
fractional
the
distilling,
podcasts.
we actually had enough to say.
Of course.
I'm looking forward to the Barb's lessons on typography next week.
Oh man, I gotta teach stuff. Okay.
I'd love it. I mean, I personally would love it.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll show some stuff. It's typography and doodling.
I love that combination because the intersection of the verbal and the nonverbal is a really interesting liminal space that has a lot of richness in terms of human identity and blah blah blah. But now clearly I've had enough. I can talk about liminal space. And
This one is
Superliminal. Oh, not liminal. Liminal.
Such a good word, liminal.
Also
liminal.
liminal.
It is. But first, coffee.
Big fan. Yeah, Carolyn's doing coffee. Hey, you should feed the cat some of that.
Oh God, no.
All
Yeah,
your
yeah.
social media are belong to us.
Excellent. Oh.
Barb
with the OG memes. What's that?
The font face is the message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into the garbage chute flyboy. I was like, in this case, like this. Okay, this is that same font, but like it's always different based on like what I'm writing.
Yeah.
Always. Too many ideas, little time. Yeah.
On that note.
Ooh,
Cheers.
I'm getting distracted. Wait, cheers.
Too many
Right.
fonts.
Thanks for watching. We will see you next week. Draw
Next
some
week.
things or make sounds or drink shit like Carlin.
That's all. My project is drinking.
So, cheers.
Cheers.
Clink.